This is the new Citroën C5 Aircross. Okay, it's not new, but is a facelift instead. Citroën has updated its family SUV to a mid-cycle nip and tuck and added a bit of flavor in the process. Since it must fight out in the premium mid-size SUV space with these juggernauts, Hyundai Tucson, Jeep Compass and the Volkswagen Tiguan. So what's new for 2022? Let's find out.
The Citroën C5 was always a handsome looking car. It has a quirky design, but it's handsome nonetheless. And that's what worked for the company when it first launched here. It has a very distinct styling that is typical of the brand. And even with the facelift, Citroën hasn't played around with that formula, but it gets substantial changes, especially to the front section of the car. So let's start with that. Instead of that split headlamp look that you used to get with the outgoing model, you get a single wraparound headlamp that diverges to the edges. You also get this two set of DRL LEDs that dissect that headlamp and gives a very appealing look. The grille and the chevron logo at the center is unchanged and remains unmoved. But lower down, if you see, the skid plates and the bumper are redesigned and it gets a very neat look. Apart from that, what also has changed are the central air intakes. It's much more narrower than now from before, and on the sides you get these deep cuts. So what happens is Citroën says that this will improve the aerodynamics of the car.
If you think the exterior changes were subtle, then you will be surprised with what's on the inside. The biggest change is a new, larger freestanding 10-inch unit replacing the smaller 8-inch unit. It is seamless to use and comes standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Touch-based keys for the infotainment system finds a new place below the air con vents. The center console also receives a subtle tweak. It now houses a new toggle-style gear selector. Drive modes can be operated via a new rectangular button. A quick mention to the well-bolstered seats, a boon on longer journeys. New upholstery for the seats, armrests and center console are done with a mix of leather and fabric finished in shades of black and grey. And that's pretty much all the changes with the 2022 model. The C5 Aircross was always an enjoyable car, and Citroën hasn't experimented with it. It employs the same 2-liter diesel engine with same power output, same torque figures, and pretty much the same fuel efficiency figure. There's barely any difference with how the car drives as well, with comfort levels still intact. The driving dynamics and the ride quality is identical to the outgoing model. It's light, agile and glides over roads superbly. Apt response from the steering at lower speeds makes the drive even more comfortable. But at higher speeds, it falls flat.
Now the engine is the same diesel unit that we used to get with the previous model of the C5, and with this one also the power delivery is quite linear, but you would enjoy it more if it's driven in a very relaxed manner. The gearbox is the same torque converter that we used to get from the previous model. The shifts are very slick and hold on to the acceleration quite comfortably. Apart from that, the braking has a decent bite to it. You also get different driving modes. There's eco and there's sport mode. Apart from that, you also get different traction modes for different kind of terrains if you want to tackle. There's snow, there's sand, there's mud, and there's also the off-road terrain mode.
For 2022, the C5 Aircross comes in a single top-spec shine trim, minus the entry-level field trim. It is the most expensive offering in the segment. The new Tucson and the Compass make up for a more logical choice, with more variants to choose from. Even the Tiguan costs less. So, should you buy it despite a higher sticker price and limited sales and service network? Well, the C5 Aircross is larger inside out and is even striking to look at. An alert drivetrain, high levels of comfort, seems worth the big bucks it demands. Combine this with the lively ride, handling, and the long list of features, the C5 Aircross continues to offer a well-rounded product as a premium mid-size SUV.